video is going to be very informative, very detailed. For any of you that have bought a bag, whether it's new, whether it's pre-loved, whether it's vintage, from anywhere except the designer boutique itself, I think you will find this video very helpful. Hey guys, welcome back. So honestly, today's video was not at all planned, but it was a video that I thought really needed to be made. But first off, I just want to thank you so very much. Thank you to every one of you that has reached out to me, that has DM'd me, whether it's through Instagram, whether it's through YouTube, whether it's through email. All of you that reached out, sending me screenshots, so many screenshots, information, your concern for me, your concern for our family, your concern for our community. I cannot thank you enough that you care so much about me and that you've taken the time out of your busy lives to write and detail to me everything that has been happening. I apologize in advance if I have not replied to you. I actually have spent so much time replying, but if I have not got back to you, I'm sorry. There is still so much more messages, but I thought it was best just to make a video and address this serious issue. And for those of you that have no idea what I'm talking about recent things that have come to light about Cosette and my partnership with Cosette. Now, you guys know a couple of weeks ago, I did a reveal, which was my Saline bag, and that I had got it from Cosette. I am going to go through all the details of everything that I have been sent, and I'll be addressing it all. But you know what, guys? You know I'm really detailed and I'm very informative, but this video isn't just going to be about that experience, because I want this video to be educational for anyone that has bought a pre-loved or vintage bag, if it's not direct from the boutique, because I think there's some information that you guys should know, because I know a lot of you buy pre-loved goods or new goods that are not directly from the boutique. This video, I am going to be very open, very honest, but most of all, very transparent about everything that I know of. This video, I think is very important to say, is not in partnership with Cosette. I am making this video with the information that I have. Have I spoken to Cosette? Absolutely, I have. Of course I needed to. But this video is my thoughts. This is the information that I've gathered. This is the information that I have received from all of you guys who have kindly kept me in the loop, who have kindly screenshotted so many messages that are on, private Facebook chats or forums. And guys, I am not in any of these Facebook chats on forums, so I did not know this was happening. And this is a very serious matter, and I have spoken to Cosette at length. But no, this video is not in partnership with them. I wanted to make this video on my terms, and I also wanted to make this video because I wanted to explain to you guys what is going on and everything that I know as well. So let's go all through this together. I think the best place to start is to start from the beginning. So if you see me referring down to my computers, because I have several notes, I don't want to miss any of the things or any of the questions that you guys have raised, and I just want to make sure I don't, miss anything. So from the very beginning, in January of this year, a reputable New South Wales PR company contacted me and asked me whether I do want to work with Cosette. Previous to this, I have heard of Cosette, but since they're based in Sydney, I had not purchased from them before and I had not visited their stores. I did know, however, they've been around for about 5 or 6 years operating in Australia, and also I did know that they had a couple of stores in Sydney. They have currently one store which is situated at the Rocks. And for those of you that are not familiar with Sydney, this is a very popular tourist area. They have a physical location there. Also, you guys know earlier this year, I went with Fred Hollows as their Lunar New Year ambassador up to Sydney. And this was the perfect time because I asked the PR company that it's very important that I want to meet them. So I actually did meet the person in charge of marketing, visited their store and spent some time at the store and just learning about their business from the marketing manager. So where Cosette is located, they are actually located with a lot of high-end brands. Louis Vuitton is opposite the street. They also have DFS Galleria, just a couple of stores down from where they are. So it's a pretty high-end area. Now, the marketing manager was explaining to me how they've worked, and I had a look at their Instagram page too. And feel free to have a look at Cosette's Instagram page. From the Instagram page, you can see that they also, which I had known prior to going to checking out the store, they have partnered up with many high-profile models, celebrities. They've partnered up with Vogue Australia. I've seen events. You can go to the events tab on their highlights, and they've been represented by, reputable PR companies. So for me personally, and I want, as I said, I'm going to be really transparent. I'm just going to go through my checklist before I partner up with anyone. This is not even just Cosette. I go through a checklist. So I want to go through this checklist with you because Cosette and I have actually been talking for months, and before me visiting the store in February and then through their PR company, this partnership was not even confirmed until early May. So I want to go through my checklist with you, and these are the questions I always ask in terms of my brand collaborations or partnerships. And I thought this was important for me to share with you in light of everything that has happened. Plus, as I said, I want to be super transparent. So the first question I do ask is, do they have any physical stores? And do I know anyone that has purchased from them? And physical stores is obviously important because if there is a physical store, it's a lot harder to get duped or to sell inauthentic products because, people can go to the store, and if there's enough people and it is really something wrong, they have a physical store. You guys may have heard horror stories on Instagram, and I absolutely have heard horror stories from many of you where there have been big Instagram accounts, no physical stores, and they have been sent empty boxes or inauthentic items. But then you may say, hang on, Mel, haven't you worked with a couple of resellers in the past that didn't have physical stores? And you are right. However, those two resellers that I worked with in the past are Melbourne based. So the two resellers / consignment stores that I worked with in the past was the Persefair and Timeless Vogue. And the reason why I had confidence in working with them was because, one, I could meet the owners and we met at several occasions. Two, there was a lot of conversations that we had. It wasn't just a quick, conversation and bam, we were working together. No, it wasn't like that. And also, I needed to ask them, do I know anyone on Instagram or personally that has purchased from them? And for these answers, there were instances of people that I knew of that had purchased from them. So that's why I was confident to go ahead, even though they didn't have a physical store. I know one of them has a physical store now, but I just wanted to explain that. So one, do they have a physical store? Secondly, do they have an authenticity guarantee or money back guarantee? That is very important. Thirdly, what do they use in terms of authentication? Whether that's Entrupy, so forth, I always need to know how they authenticate. Fourth, how long have they been in business for? How long have they been operating for? Now, guys, I also get sent so many requests to partner up with many reseller accounts. And a lot of these reseller accounts might only have been, even though they have lots of followers, as we all know with Instagram, you still can buy followers, they've only been operating for a short amount of time. So I always like to partner with people minimum that have at least been trading for a year or so. And so obviously if they have an Instagram account or a Facebook account, I look through their account and see how long they have been in business for. And lastly, if possible, I always want to meet people in person, have talks, For example, like my partnership with Eclair Tillier, they're not based in Melbourne, so obviously I can't meet them face to face, but I have had lots of conversations with the owner through, Google Meets and things like that before any collaboration was decided on. So that is all sort of my checklist in what I go through. So let's go through all this in terms of Cosette. This is the exact process I go through with any of the resellers, consignment stores, brands that I work with. It's the same that I did with Cosette. So does the brand have a physical store? Yes, we know there's one in the Rocks. 2, do they guarantee authenticity? According to their website and according to their marketing manager, they guarantee authenticity. They have a 7-day money-back guarantee. What do they use for authenticity? They said they are Entrupy verified business. So when this agreement was made through the PR agency and Cosette, they were an Entrupy verified business. I'm going to come to that because I know that has changed. 4th, how long have they been operating for? They've been operating for 5-6 years in Sydney. Used to have 2 physical stores and now 1 physical store. I also learned from meeting the marketing manager that they also acquired a DFS license, which is a duty-free license. It's a duty-free off-airport license. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with that, as you know, my background is in buying. It is in retail fashion buying. A duty-free license is not something that easy to get. An ex-manager of mine works in duty-free as well. It is not that easy. Please feel free to do your own research. I know that the documentation to get all this is not easy. It is a very lengthy process. And so I did not know this about them, but when I met the marketing manager, at the end of Jan, they explained to me that they are a DFS, duty-free store. So this is on their website too. You can please go and have a read on it. I will just link all of that just for you to go and have a read through. And also the marketing manager was explaining to me that since they do hold a duty-free license, that when they get their goods in, it has to be inspected by Australian border security, and all this is detailed on their website as well. But I was not aware of that. That was, to me, an added bonus because being a duty-free, I know that obtaining that license is not that easy to get. So yes, that is my checklist, guys, coupled with the fact that it was initiated through a PR agency that contacted me. Cosette did meet all those requirements, and the fact that I knew people that had purchased from them and were happy with their experience. So as I mentioned, we had discussions in Jan. It wasn't until early May it was finalized. And then you guys know I released a video a couple of weeks ago in partnership with Cosette. After that video, I don't remember how many days after, I got a first couple of messages just asking me to investigate because they could not find that they were Entrupy verified. I immediately contacted the company and was told that they are looking into it and that they would get back to me. I have since had further discussions, lengthy further discussions with Cosette, and yes, they are not Entrupy verified partners at the moment. But at the time when I made this agreement through the PR agency, they were Entrupy verified. It was complete news to me that they had been suspended or, according to the screenshots that you've sent me, the word used was banned, and that their certificates had been revoked. Of course, I can understand everyone that screenshotted this. It's so alarming. So I did speak to Cosette, and this is what they have told me. It is in line actually with some of the screenshots. You guys are just amazing. I just cannot thank you enough. Just constantly sending me screenshots of everything that's going on. Okay, so this is what Cosette has said. Cosette told me that they're no longer Entrupy verified because they violated a certain terms and policies. Obviously, I don't know what Entrupy's terms and policies are and Cosette's terms and policies are. However, they did tell me very openly that what they did was they Entrupy. So for those of you that don't know Entrupy, just really quickly, Entrupy is this device that's used for authentication. It uses artificial intelligence and it takes like microscopic pictures of the bag. So It is like very, very accurate. It's not 100%, but I believe it is about 99% accurate. A lot of resellers use them, and it's like a form of authentication. It's not perfect, but it is, you know, as I said, like 99% accurate. So what they were doing, which they said to me, is they are very confident in terms of their suppliers, because their suppliers are from Europe and they are Entrupy verified too. So they have Entrupy. When the goods get here, they do a random check and then they Entrupy a bag from a batch. And I was like, I was not aware of that. I always was under the impression, which I told them, that when you say Entrupy verified, I thought everything was Entrupyed. And they said, Mel, we're very confident in our supplies, and that is why with a batch, let's just say there was a whole batch of Prada bags, I don't know, they would Entrupy one, and then the certificate would be the one certificate for the batch. So that explains a lot of the screenshots I received from you guys saying that, oh, I got a certificate, but it didn't match the bag, because no, it didn't, because they did it by batch. I don't know if that is the reason why that was the violation. I don't know. I'm not sure. And from the screenshots you've sent me, that is not what Entrupy have said. Entrupy have just said they have violated some sort of terms of use. So we know that they are not Entrupy verified. However, what they did say to me is that they are currently working to get back to being Entrupy verified, or using another artificial intelligence and redirecting all their customers, if they are worried that their bags are inauthentic, bags to Entrupy verified business partners. So what that means is if you go to Entrupy, you can, you know, this is not just in Australia, but all around the world, there are partners that are Entrupy verified. So then I asked for my bag, and I'm just going to show you my bag, which is in question, because for a lot of you, this may be a brand new video. So this was the bag that I revealed a couple of weeks ago, which is the Saline 16 bag. Now, I asked them that had they done an Entrupy on this, and they said they did not. So they directed me to their partner, which in Melbourne is Royal Melbourne Bag Spa. Now, this took a few days to come back to me, as we all know with the COVID situation. Even though Entrupy in itself to do it is very quick, the results don't always come back straight away. Now, this is the part where it gets quite interesting, guys, and this is the information that I need to share. I only just got this bag back today. So today is Friday. I'm hoping I can get this video edited and out ASAP as soon as I can. So I haven't had this bag for quite a few days, and Royal Melbourne Bag Spa could not authenticate this using Entrupy. So with Entrupy doesn't authenticate every single brand. They authenticate the main brands, and yes, they do authenticate Saline. But what I have seen is the result can be authentic or inconclusive. If you know otherwise, please let me know. But that is what I have been told. So I have the email here, and obviously this was shared from Cosette, because Cosette had to get Royal Bag Spa, which is in Melbourne. I think a lot of us Melburnians would know it because it's on Collins Street. I know it. It's been there for quite a number of years, to come, and, you know, so the bag was couriered to them. And their reply was that Entrupy could not authenticate the bag, and would Cosette like them to internally authenticate, because one of their services that they provide besides fixing up designer bags is that they can authenticate as well. And it says here that they do use Entrupy. However, there are a lot of bags that Entrupy does not accept. The authentication point of all bags can be different and cannot be accepted from their device. Since the devices are designed to submit photos only, they're not designed to look at screws, hardware, and the exact shape and weight of the bag. And then they are going to proceed with internal authentication. So a couple of days later, I got a reply back, and I have the certificate here. As you can see, it is a certificate of authenticity issued by Royal Bag Spa, saying that the bag is authentic. But besides this as well, guys, I also wanted to do my due diligence, because even though I know Royal Bag Spa is a reputable place and Cosette had arranged it, I just wanted, you know, to do my own sort of authentication. So then also previously, before I had given the bag to be sent out, I took high-res images of the bag myself and sent it to 2 very reputable online authentication services. I will name them. I have used them before. I know a lot of you have used them. Like I said, all authentication services, nothing is 100%, but these 2 seem to be the ones that a lot of you guys do recommend and use yourself. So then I went to Authenticate First. And there is the certificate of authentication from Authenticate First. And I also went to Real Authentication and also got a certificate as well. And these are things that I paid with my own, my own money. I actually did not inform Cosette that I was going to do that. I wanted to do it for my own peace of mind. So that is triple authentication. And even before all of this, not that I am an authenticator at all, but from my experience, just buying bags for so many years, when I got the bag, nothing alarmed me. But it does not hurt to do your due diligence. So yes, guys, after like the triple authentication, 1 in person, having the bag, holding it and authenticating it, and 2 online, I am confident that this bag is authentic. So yes, this bag, to answer your question, is a genuine Saline product. So guys, I totally forgot to mention as I was reading out the email from Royal Bag Spa, why Entrupy could not authenticate this. Yes, they do authenticate Saline, but sometimes if a model is too new or they don't have enough data, the result will come up inconclusive. That is why Royal Bag Spa had to internally authenticate this. And also there are brands that Entrupy just does not authenticate at this point. Will they in the future? Maybe. So brands like Givenchy or brands like Valentino, you can't actually use an Entrupy device to authenticate, a Givenchy Antigona bag, for example. And all the brands that Entrupy can do are listed on their site. So I thought that was a very important point to clarify and mention as well. I also know a lot of you had said that you've seen them work with lots of influencers, high profile influencers, models, celebrities. You can go to their Instagram page and have a look at all the ones that has been tagged through multiple PR agencies. Now, because I am being super transparent, and no, I do not need to share this information, but I want to share this information, guys. So I understand with influencers, they usually, I don't know how they all work, but what I've been told is that they just get gifted the bag and then they've promoted it. So in my case, because I'm the first YouTuber that they have worked with, it was a different agreement. I cannot go into the details of it, but I want to explain something for those of you that are not aware. And I get this question a lot, and I think it helps you guys because I know you guys are very smart consumers. We're all consumers. It's good to know anyway. So just to explain to you, sometimes, whether it's on Instagram or YouTube, some companies, they only do gifting. They do not pay a fee or anything. They're just like, if I give you this, will you do a post for me or a video or so forth? Some companies, it's not gifting. It's just, I'm just going to pay you for this. I'm going to pay you, but you need to go and buy whatever the product is, but we're going to pay you for this. And this could be an Instagram post. This could be a this could be a YouTube video. That's why sometimes you see YouTube videos like, this video is sponsored, but I bought everything with my own money. Absolutely, that can happen. And sometimes it's a mix. Sometimes it's like a fee and they want to give you something, or in my case it was a fee because I absolutely do charge fees. I've been very open with you and said for YouTube it is a source of income for me. It is one of my streams of income. If you want to know about my different streams of income, I did that in a very raw and personal question and answer. I will link that above. But YouTube is not my main source of income. I diversify my income streams, which is very important to me. Anyway, so my agreement with them was that I have a fee. But obviously, since this YouTube is new for them, they're like, well, we don't know if we can invest in you because I don't know how it's going to do. So there was negotiation through the PR company. So what it was there's a fee, and that if I like a bag, of course, you guys know I like bags, and no secret, Mel loves bags. There is a product that will be taken out of my fee. So yes, this bag did come out of my fee. So to me, it is like I had purchased it. So yes, they did pay me a fee, but it wasn't exactly like gifted. I just wanted to explain that because I don't want you guys, and I'm very transparent. In some of my videos, I'm like, yeah, this video is sponsored, or this bag was gifted to me, or I used a voucher for this. Sometimes, guys, in all companies, without breaking any confidentiality, it's just gray areas. And depending on the company, depending on the brand, everybody works differently. Every country works differently. The laws are different, but I just wanted to be transparent and say that. I know a lot of you like, Mel, why do you have to just say all that? But I want to, because I have nothing to hide about this. I am proud of the partnerships that I have. And if you guys have been following me for ages, you would know that all the partnerships that I've done usually have been for years. So with Cosette, this sort of bundle, I should say, wasn't a one video thing. I had signed on for, Instagram and another YouTube video as well, because I don't like to personally, just for me, just do a one thing and then see you later. More on that point in a second. So I just wanted to be super transparent with that. Now let's get back to all these screenshots that you guys have sent me. A lot of them that I saw were screenshots from you guys asking the brands directly. So whether it was from, I think I saw one from Givenchy or Prada or Gucci, you writing to these stores and asking if Cosette is an authorized reseller of these brands. The emails that have come back from the brands itself have clearly stated that Cosette is not an authorized seller. Now, I think one thing that's very important to mention, one thing that the PR company made clear to me, that the marketing made clear to me, is Cosette's business model. And I need to explain this to you guys because I think the laws in every country are different. And I am just going to read it out exactly from their website. And that is that Cosette's business model is based on inverted seasons. As you guys know, all my Northern Hemisphere family, you guys are in spring at the moment. We are in autumn, almost winter. You guys are going to summer. So what Cosette does is they take advantage of these inverted seasons. So all the excess stock from the European suppliers, they can buy at a discount. Their European suppliers are authorized resellers, so that is why they are able to buy these products and then sell it in store in Australia, even though they are not authorized resellers, but the European suppliers are authorized sellers under Australian law. And I'm not a lawyer. I'm not going to go into the specifics of it, but I will leave the link. But under Australia, it is legal under the parallel imports law. So for us Aussies, an example that just comes to mind is like perfume. So for example, if you go to a chemist, you might be able to buy a Gucci perfume and it's much cheaper than in the Gucci boutique itself. So the chemist itself is not an authorized, well, some of them may be, but some of them may not be, but the supplier of that Gucci perfume are an authorized reseller. So this is under the parallel imports law. That is, as I said, I'm not a lawyer, but under Australia, that is legal for them to do. And because of their location, and like I mentioned, they're a DFS store, it goes through all the border security and everything like that. That is what the marketing manager, and the PR company have told me. Now let's go back to the Entrupy thing, because that was the screenshot that I got the most. This is a screenshot that came from one of the bag chat groups on Facebook. Like I said, I'm not a member of any of them. I know that there's multiple discussions apparently have been had, but this one particular one was that a certain member had written, and I'm just going to block all the name and everything like that. I'm going to put it on screen now, but it says that, just a note to those that purchased from Cosette, Entrupy have withdrawn all their authenticity certificates as it's proven that they were authenticating real bags but sending online buyers replicas of the authenticated bag. I sent Entrupy an email to get in writing from them, see below. And then Entrupy's reply said, thank you for reaching out. Cosette was banned for violating our terms of service. When this happens, all their certificates are revoked. We cannot confirm that the certificate you were sent belongs to the bag that you received. So guys, now I just want us to put our logical caps on. Maybe I am missing something. Maybe there's more in this that I haven't got sent. But from this, I don't see where it's got from Entrupy. Obviously, Cosette violated something, They're not Entrupy verified direct partners now. But I don't see how that correlates to the fact that they were withdrawn because they were selling, that they were authenticating real bags but sending out fake ones. Maybe there's a conversation I've missed. I don't know. I don't know how you can deduce that from Entrupy's reply. So what I can deduce from Entrupy's direct email, which I've got on screen, that Cosette was banned for violating our terms and service. And when anyone is not a partner, their certificates are revoked. That is what Entrupy has stated very, very clearly. Of course, I brought this up with Cosette. I have spoken to the owners themselves, very concerned with this. And that is what I mentioned before. They said, and as well, another one of you sent me another, I'm just looking at my email. Another one of you sent me one of your replies from their customer service team. And this is what Cosette had shared with me too, is that they are really confident in their European suppliers. They constantly run authentication checks. On the receipt of goods, they process random authentication by providing one certificate for an entire batch, as I said before. Yes, after speaking to the owners, they pretty much said to me, when we were in our phone conversation, what you guys screenshotted to me anyway, because some of you had written to Cosette and the customer service team had sent you this information, which you guys then sent me. Thank you again. And that is what they've said. They said that they're very confident in their European suppliers since they've been so established, and that their European suppliers are authorized resellers and Entrupy partners as well. And so even though they're not direct Entrupy partners as of yet, I understand from speaking to the owners that they are working on getting this back. But for now, they have told me, which has also been said in the emails to you guys, that they are directing anyone that's concerned or has purchased from them to a third-party Entrupy verified business. However, since I was not aware of this batch Entrupy things that they were doing, and I was always under the impression, which I told them very honestly and transparently, I said I was not under that impression, nor was any of that sort of, I wasn't told any of that. So it's very, very important to me that I protect my family, that I protect you guys. I do not take any of these collaborations lightly. Like I said, it's usually months in discussion. So I have in writing from them, any of you that have purchased through my code that I did put out. By the way, I did not get any cut from that code. It was just a partnership, as I transparently said before. Any one of you that have bought using my code, even if it's after the 7 days, please go and get it authenticated. If the results come back inconclusive, Cosette will refund you. Obviously, you kind of use the bag or it's being used and stuff like that. But even if it's past the 7 days, if for any reason you are not happy or you just want to send the bag back, Cosette has said to me that they will honor a refund. So I'm really glad that they're standing behind their product, because when I requested that, I said, I want to give my audience and my followers and my family the confidence that, because I feel like I wasn't given all the information. So I really want to make sure that they're protected and they don't feel like, oh, I may get an inauthentic product. I want you guys to feel confident. And, I also want to, apologize for the extra effort you have to make, even though I did not know about this. And honestly, I do not believe that Cosette even knew that they were going to be suspended or whatever from Entrupy as well, because at the time of us agreeing to them, they were Entrupy verified. However, since this has happened, of course, I'm going to look out for you guys. So yes, please do contact customer service if you are, worried. But in saying that, my personal experience with them, my bag that I got, I do believe it is authentic. Does that mean that all of you that have, written on these forums that have had negative experience, am I dismissing them? Absolutely not. I am not dismissing that. I also have heard so many mixed reviews. So many of you have also written to me saying, I've purchased from them, I've been so happy with them. And obviously some people have not been. So this brings me up to the point where I know it's taken a long time, guys, because I wanted to be so detailed with Cosette, is that if you are going to purchase, okay, if you are going to purchase, I'm not even just talking about Cosette, even from a consignment store, even from a friend, even from your friend's auntie, even from Japanese resellers, anything that's not direct from the boutique, if you are going to purchase, please do your own due diligence. Yes, we are content creators, we are influencers, but whatever we say as well, I've always said this in all my videos. I said, guys, I know you guys are smart. Do your own research as well. Everything that I get, even if I get it from, I'm very confident Japanese laws are, it's illegal to sell, fake products there, but all the vintage items I get, I still get authenticated. The question you need to ask yourself is, what is the level of risk you are willing to accept? And what I mean by that is I have friends that it doesn't matter how much cheaper, let's just use Chanel, for example, right? A Chanel classic flap is pre-loved. They will only buy from the boutique. Doesn't matter, they'll only buy from the boutique. But I also know people and have friends that I'm not paying Chanel's prices, especially with the increases. I am buying it pre-loved. I've bought pre-loved, sustainability wise. I also want to do that. And I have saved half price. I've saved 4,000 doing that, And the thing is that yes, you can as well. And that's why the pre-loved market is so big. And that's why there's resellers and consignment stores, because you can save a lot of money. But if you're the type of person that you don't want to take any of the risk, don't buy. Don't buy from a reseller. Don't buy pre-loved. Don't buy that. I'm telling you, that's your level of risk. You know yourself. I just don't want to risk it. Stores. This is another thing that needs to be said as well. No luxury store. If you bring a bag in, the staff are not allowed to authenticate the bag. One, they don't even have the experience to. Some of them may, but they're not allowed to. And two, legally, can you imagine? Legally, they're not allowed to. But some of the brands, like Louis Vuitton, like Hermes, they will accept bags even if you've purchased it from the secondhand market, because just say you purchase a bag from Japan or something, and you want all the Vachetta replaced. Yes, if you go to LV and say, yeah, how much do I want this? It's going to cost this much, you can pay. And then they send it off. If they send it off and it comes back fixed, that is their unofficial way of saying, yes, it is authentic. If they don't fix it, I don't know what they do. Depends on the brand, the country, what they want to do. Sometimes they may not give the bag back, or they'll say, sorry, sir or madam, we cannot take this bag in because it's not an authentic product. But no, you can't just bring in a bag and say, can you authenticate this? From my experience anyway, you guys know otherwise, let me know, but stores are not allowed to authenticate a bag. So even from authorized resellers, so let's talk about our department stores, whether we're talking about David Jones here in Australia, or in the US, we're talking about Neiman Marcus or Selfridges or everything. Same thing, you could go in, you could buy a pair of Christian Louboutin shoes. Someone may buy a real thing, next day return it. Poor sales assistant doesn't know none the wiser. They accept it in, it looks new, everything, they've got the receipt, but it's really a fake. And that fake shoe then gets on-sold to a poor unsuspecting customer. And I think that is why artificial intelligence like Entrupy is gaining in popularity, because of these things happening. It's so sad that the fakes are getting so good. They're actually super, super, super fakes, guys. And that is why online, there are a lot of sites that will not authenticate. For example, I'm going to use the example of Chanel. Chanel over a certain series, it says, sorry, we can't authenticate more than a 15 series or something, because the fakes are getting so good that they need to have the bag physically in hand to feel it, to touch it, to smell it, feel the weight of it, the leather, really look at everything before they can authenticate it. And, guys, even if you are buying pre-loved from the big guns, and when the big guns, I mean like the pre-loved sites, even some big Instagram ones, all of them, there's all instances of positive and negative reviews where a fake has gotten through. And do I think these sites intentionally sell inauthentic or fake products? Absolutely not. But as humans, we are not perfect and we make errors and maybe something slipped through the cracks. And I'm just saying that there's always positive and negative stories. But anything that you buy, you know, I know I'm talking about pre-loved there, but even if it's new, like new with tags from these pre-loved sites, or new from Japanese resellers, or new from parallel imports like Cosette, you still need to do your due diligence and get everything authenticated for your own peace of mind. Likewise, I go back to the question, what is the level of risk you're willing to take? For some people, it's like, I need to get 2 authentication certificates, and then I feel, yep, you know, I'm happy with it. I know the good's authentic, and I've saved myself $2,000 or $3,000. For some people, is I don't care how much I'm saving. I'm not ever buying anything unless it's from the boutique. And some people, they're like, you know, I've been buying this long enough. If I get 1 certificate or I get my friend to have a look at it, I'm pretty sure I'm happy with that. And I guess that's what saddens me the most. In all of this, it is your hard-earned money. It is our hard-earned money. And people are out there trying to dupe us, trying to sell us, you know, fake things. And that is why in ourselves, let's be smart, guys, and always do our due diligence. So ask yourself, what is the level of risk you're willing to take? You need to ask yourself that question, and you need to be comfortable with that decision yourself. So guys, will I continue to buy new pre-loved vintage? Yes, I will, because I know my level of risk is that I actually really enjoy shopping pre-loved. I enjoy the savings. I like vintage. I'm willing to take that risk, but I'm also willing to do my due diligence. I do want to say through all of this, you guys have seen all my checklist. I do believe I did my due diligence, not only when it comes to Cosette, but my other partnerships. But I'm not perfect. And is there ways I could improve? Absolutely. And I am so open to hear. You've seen transparently what my checklist is. Is there anything else that you would add? You know, let me know in the comments below. I value your opinion so much. I value our family so much. And what does family do? Family look out for each other, and family think the best of each other. And guys, I am going to be really honest and say this has been a difficult week for me, through all these screenshots. Yeah, it did sadden me to see, you know, some of you, and I need to say it's a very small minority, but to see some of you say comments of disgust and disappointment in me, and how could you partner up with, you know, this company, and you've been bought out by them and things like that. I, you know, if for those of you that have judged me, or and you've in the screenshots unfollowed me, I say to you all, I still don't hold it against you. Even though you've judged me on this, I'm not going to judge you because I don't know you personally. However, to all of you, and I want to say this to the majority of you that have looked out for me, that have believed in me, in my character, and you guys know that I would never promote any brand or any company that I think was selling, you know, inauthentic items. Thank you for your trust and your belief in me. Thank you that, you know, as a family, that you looked out for me, and that to me is worth more than any money can buy. And I would just like to think as a family, or even just as people, that we just think the best of each other. If anything, hasn't this whole pandemic and this virus taught us that, you know, relationships are so important? I know I haven't met a lot of you guys personally, but I've had lots of, you know, chats with you guys, or even interacted here, and you are a very important and big part of my life, and I value you so much. And just in this instance, this situation may seem to so many people like it's such a negative situation, but I also choose to see the positive. And you know what the positive is? The positive is that I feel so supported by the majority of you, and that you care so much for me. And honestly, that means the world to me. In light of all this information, guys, everything that's been brought to the table, from my personal experience, I know that I have received a genuine Saline bag. The interactions I've had with the marketing manager and the owners, they have been very responsive to my feedback, and that includes, you know, my disappointments as well, and they've taken that all on board. As I've shared with you guys my checklist, since that has changed since my original agreement, I have been very open, transparent, and honest with Cosette. And I have told them that I cannot continue my partnership with them. I know what the future holds, guys. I had no idea, obviously, this was going to happen or all this was going to unfold. I've told them that I am making this video. I know I didn't have to make this video, but I really wanted to. I know this video has been so long. Thank you to all of those that have watched all of this to the very end. I felt like at the minimum, I wanted to explain everything. I have nothing to hide, and I'm more than happy to be transparent about this collaboration. And guys, I also want to share with you one of the most mean comments I actually received. Well, I told you this week has been a toughie, but I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to name her name. I'm just going to say Ms. E. And the reason why I'm saying this out is because I want to go, let me just summarize it for you. She is basically saying she wants to express her great disappointment in me, and that she's already had huge doubts about me. She doesn't see me following up my giveaways with any announcements in my YouTube or IG, which leads me to believe you are scamming people to get followers. Now it looks like you're promoting a scam site. And she says, considering that you can afford so much luxury, I don't see what you hope to gain by scamming people for more followers or money. I hope more people will wisen up to your antics. I will not stop voicing out in all the bad groups I'm in. Wow, that last sentence is very threatening. And to me, it's actually a little bit bullying. And I will not judge you, Miss E. But you know what? I have got planned, and this is the positive I want to end with, even more giveaways for you guys, because I want to give back. And this is the minority, and I want you to know that this is what a lot of us deal with, like comments like this. But I've always been transparent in my giveaways. And just for your information, with my giveaways on all the rules, you will see in all my giveaways that in the description box of the video, I list the winners. It's pinned in the comment. The reason why on Instagram, I also leave if it is an Instagram giveaway, I leave the Instagram giveaway after the winner has been announced in that post up for a week, just so that everyone has seen it and hasn't been missed. But absolutely, I do archive my giveaways because some people get confused, you know, and then they still enter and they still think it's open. For all of you that do know me, you know, and all of you that have received prizes, you guys know that I do my giveaway, and I know that I do as well, and that's the most important thing. So you know what? We are going to do even more giveaways, and you know what? I am determined, even after all this, to want to give back to you guys even more. So you know what? We're going to end off in a positive, and get ready for the next video because they are going to be even more giveaways. So thank you all so much for watching. Thank you. I know I just keep repeating the same thing again. I sound like a broken record, but I appreciate you all so much standing by me. Let's just in general be kinder to each other and not judge each other. I think there's always a way to say something constructively and respectfully and still get your opinion across. So I hope, guys, that I've answered all your questions. I know this video has been so long. I'm looking at the thing and it's probably going to be an hour long. I hope I can edit it this shorter, but yes, I am going to continue to buy new pre-loved vintage. And I guess the take-home message is not only a big thank you from the bottom of my heart, but if you do want to do that, make sure you just do your own research for your own peace of mind. Thank you so much for watching. Big kisses, guys. Stay safe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.